Hello, and welcome back to Road TRipVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. Today's episode is number 607. The category is Denzel Washington movies. I'm going to give you a short description of the movie, the year that it came out, something about the movie, the awards they won, and the answer will be the title of a Denzel Washington movie. Thank you for watching today's trivia quiz, and good luck. Question 1. In what 1981 British-American comedy film, also starring George Segal, did Denzel Washington get his feature film debut as Roger Porter, the long-lost son of Walter Whitney? The name of that movie was Carbon Copy. Question number 2. In what 1989 American historical war drama film did Denzel Washington star as a member of the 54th Massachusetts Infantry Regiment, the Union Army's first African American regiment in the American Civil War? The answer is Glory. Question 3. Directed and co-written by Spike Lee, what 1992 film stars Denzel Washington in the title role of the African-American activist, which ended up getting him his first Oscar nomination for Best Actor? The name of the activist and the movie is Malcolm X. Question 4. What 1993 American legal thriller film, based on the 1992 novel by John Grisham, starred Julia Roberts in the role of a young law student, Darby Shaw, and Denzel Washington as a Washington Herald reporter, Gray Grantham? The answer is The Pelican Brief. Question 5. Notable for being one of the first mainstream Hollywood films to acknowledge the HIV/AIDS epidemic, what was the title of the 1993 legal drama film starring Tom Hanks and Denzel Washington? The answer is Philadelphia. Question number 6. What 1995 film focuses on a clash of wills between the new executive officer, played by Denzel Washington, of a U.S. nuclear missile submarine and its seasoned commanding officer, played by Gene Hackman? The answer is Crimson Tide. Question 7. What 1996 American war film starred Denzel Washington and Meg Ryan and follows Lieutenant Colonel Serling, who accidentally destroys one of his own tanks during a confusing nighttime battle while serving in the Gulf War, killing an ally? The answer is Courage Under Fire. Question 8. What 1996 film starred Denzel Washington as an angel named Dudley who comes to Earth to help Henry Biggs and his wife Julia, played by Whitney Houston, with their struggling African-American Baptist church in New York City? The answer is The Preacher's Wife. Question 9. Jake Shuttlesworth, played by Denzel Washington, is the father of the top-ranked basketball prospect in the country and is released on parole for a week by the state's governor to persuade his son to play for the governor's alma mater in what 1998 movie? The answer is He Got Game. Question 10. What is the 1999 crime thriller starring Denzel Washington as a quadriplegic forensics expert named Lincoln Rhyme, who is bedbound after an accident that left him completely paralyzed from the neck down? The answer is The Bone Collector. Question 11. In what other 1999 film does Denzel Washington play Reuben Carter, a former middleweight boxer who was wrongly convicted for a triple murder in a bar in Paterson, New Jersey? The answer is The Hurricane. Question 12. Based on the true story of Coach Herman Boone, what 2000 Denzel Washington film follows Coach Boone's attempt to integrate the T.C. Williams High School football team in Alexandria, Virginia? That movie was Remember the Titans. Question 13. It stars Denzel Washington as Alonzo Harris and Ethan Hawke as Jake Hoyt. What 2001 movie follows two LAPD narcotics officers over a 24-hour period in the gang-ridden neighborhoods of Westlake, Echo Park, and South Central Los Angeles? The answer is Training Day. Question 14. A father whose son is diagnosed with an enlarged heart finds out he is unable to receive a transplant because HMO insurance will not cover it. So he decides to hold up the hospital and force them to do it in what 2002 Denzel Washington movie? The answer is John Q. Question 15. In what 2002 movie directed by and starring Denzel Washington in his feature film directorial debut does Washington star as the psychiatrist Jerome Davenport, alongside Hollywood newcomer Derek Luke, who plays the title role? His first movie as a director was Antoine Fisher. Question 16. In what 2004 film does Denzel Washington portray John Creasy, a despondent, alcoholic former U.S. Marine and CIA officer turned bodyguard, who goes on a revenge rampage after 9-year-old Peta Ramos is abducted in Mexico City? That movie was called Man on Fire, and it was awesome. Question 17. Centering on an elaborate bank heist on Wall Street over a 24-hour period, what 2006 film stars Denzel Washington as Detective Keith Frazier, Clive Owen as the mastermind who orchestrates the heist, and Jodie Foster as Madeline White? The answer is Inside Man. Question 18. What 2007 film is fictionally based on the criminal career of Frank Lucas, a gangster from LaGrange, North Carolina, who smuggled heroin into the United States on American service planes returning from the Vietnam War? The answer is American Gangster. Question 19. In what 2010 post-apocalyptic neo-western film starring Denzel Washington, Gary Oldman, and Mila Kunis does the story revolve around Denzel's character, who is told by a voice to deliver his copy of a book to a safe location on the west coast of the United States? The answer is The Book of Eli. Question 20. What 2014 film stars Denzel Washington as a former U.S. Marine turned DIA intelligence officer who reluctantly returns to action to protect a teenage prostitute from members of the Russian mafia? The answer is The Equalizer. Alright, that is it for today. Thank you for watching today's episode of Road TRipVIA. Hopefully you enjoyed today's quiz. If everything's going as planned, I should be returning home this evening, which means tomorrow we'll be back on track. Anything that I've missed or haven't caught up on, any comments, emails, or if the quizzes got behind, I'll be getting caught up in the next few days. Thank you for being patient, and now that we're past 600 episodes, it means we only have about, less than 400 to go now before we hit the goal of 1,000 unique trivia quizzes. We've had several good suggestions for categories, so we will be getting into them in the next upcoming weeks. We still have UK week coming up where we'll do a week's worth of trivia on Scotland, Wales, England, UK as a whole, UK actors, UK music, stuff like that. It's coming up. I'm not sure exactly when it is. I've got the trivia questions wrote, but I'm going to have a couple of guest hosts. I'm going to have a couple of guest hosts help me read the questions because they're from England, and I thought it'd be cool to have an English accent on some of these quizzes. That's the plan. Hopefully you guys are on board. Hopefully you're enjoying and having a good time watching this channel. Here is question 21 for today, the tiebreaker. Starring Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke, and Peter Sarsgaard, what 2016 movie was a remake of the 1960 film of the same name that was itself an adaptation of a movie from 1954? The answer is The Magnificent Seven, which was a remake of the 1960 film The Magnificent Seven, which was an adaptation of the movie The Seven Samurai from 1954. Thank you for watching. Check back tomorrow for another new trivia quiz, and have a good week.